y'all. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. I am here to do a reading using the Yin Yang Oracle with you. But first, lip gloss. Okay. I also think I kind of want to pull my hair back in some way. Kind of fucking with it too much. Alright. Sorry, friends. Yes, I could have done this before I started, but... Okay, hey, what's up? I am uploading a reading using the Light Series Tarot right now, and it's called Stay Focused. So that is there for you by the time you see this. If you would like to watch that, please feel free. Also, I don't usually say this, but I want to. If you would like to subscribe, please do. I've been on this like uphill climb for a really long time, very slowly. And I have goals, so please subscribe if you are not already. I don't really care about likes. I'm trying to get my subscriptions and my views up. So, ooh, epiphany and breakthrough. Alright, how are you feeling? Epiphany and breakthrough. That's a good sign. It's happened once before that was our first energy out. I remember only one time. Alright. How annoying. Okay. This could be about a toxic relationship. Maybe you're having to set boundaries in this moment. Maybe you just had this epiphany to continue choosing yourself, which is actually what that other reading was about. The reason it's called Stay Focused is because it's like there's some sort of energy that wants to... Yeah, this is like the same exact energy. There's some energy, toxicity, patterns, and bound that wants to keep you stuck, right? Like these are completely opposite energies. Freedom or, in some sort of bound situation. I swear to God, there's only commercials when I'm fucking doing readings. Anyway, we do have the Twin Flame card coming out, which is interesting because it's like Twin Flame followed by the North Node, which is staying in your purpose, your cosmic purpose. So perhaps you've been focused a little bit too much on someone outside of you, regardless of what title you want that to be. I don't usually get that for that card, but because it's following toxicity, I feel like there's been maybe too much of a focus on something else outside of you when you should be focused on you and your purpose, right? And this feminine energy coming out right after that, which is the energy of being, of nurture, of creation. So stay in that energy. And then we have celebration, gifts, and abundance. The staying, I'm talking to myself too. Okay, I struggle with this often. Focusing on myself, staying in my feminine energy. But this is abundance, gifts, and celebration. And remember that abundance isn't necessarily money or wealth. It is, not how people think about wealth in this society at least. But abundance is your skills, the things that you already have in possession, and also things that you've already accomplished. All of the things that have made you who you are today. Think about that abundance that way, right? It's kind of a paradigm shift. I mean, it is a paradigm shift. But it's important that we pull away from shit that doesn't work or things that keep us feeling bound. And money, if we don't have a good relationship with money, or ourselves, or there's some sort of imbalance, there's a lot of focus on material gain. But money is just a tool, and it's also a very important energy. Money is a tool to use to build the life that you want. It's not the here all be all. It's not the end of, like, that's not the goal. The goal is to have enough to build the life that you want, but not to just have money, right? I mean, maybe it is for some people. But remember that money is made up, and within that context of money and power and wealth, Um, maybe you're someone who wants to call in a lot of money because you would use it differently than how other people who have money use it. Like, you'd be more generous with it. You would do things that would actually change the world. I think there is this shift right now that's happening. I mean, it doesn't seem like it because obviously we're being ruled by a bunch of billionaire psychopaths. But when we stay in our purpose and focused on us rather than things outside of us, including money or others, the way that people, relationship status, things like that, really focusing on ourselves is big right now. Especially if you're in the northern hemisphere or the United States specifically, as winter is coming to an end, I think things are going to get the energy already of nature is going to be faster paced. It's going to be, but I think all of the other energy that we're witnessing right now is also going to pick up, be more relevant. So do what you need to do to stay grounded in that and also navigate to the best of your ability while staying in your own energy. Remember, this epiphany breakthrough is our first energy out. So anything that doesn't feel like it's bringing you that liberation energy, drop it or give it distance, which is what we have here. Distance, retreat, or time out. Allow yourself to take that time. That's, again, that feminine energy, being in. And if all of this sounds like complete bullshit to you and you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, then take a step back and just focus on what your purpose is. I received a download about my purpose in 2017 after like the hardest 6 months of my life, when I was trafficked, and I received my mission and I got to it immediately. And my mission was to help humanity, like uplift humanity. We have remember, awakening, and self-worth and expectations. And I feel like this remember, awakening energy could be the epiphany, because I just said what I just said about your purpose. Maybe you've just been focused on all things twin flame. Remember, if you do have a twin flame and you know who they are, that you two are supposed to mirror. But I've gotten to a point where I've accepted that within us, we each have a twin flame journey as well, because we each have positive, or not positive, we both, I don't know why I said positive. We're getting a pregnancy test with that. But we both have feminine and masculine within us. We both have dark and light. We all have the contradicting energies at every level, right? And so when we're so focused on someone outside of us and we're really focusing on, or we're not focusing on ourselves enough, that's what this epiphany and remembering are speaking to. Remember your own path. Remember the things that you are here to do. If you're on my channel, you're more than likely someone who aligns with Earth Angel or, revolutionary energy, maybe a star seed. But if you're still using that language has really been co-opted by the alt-right, so be careful with that. There's a lot of elitism that is contradictory or harmful around that language. But it's cool as identify as that, but don't allow yourself to put yourself above others within that. It happens a lot. But whatever language you use to describe yourself in your path, it's up to you. I don't really care. Okay. We have alchemy and ancestor guides. So those who have come before you would like to support you in this, especially if you are someone in your purpose to make the world a better place. But I feel like this could be the beginning of coming into consciousness. Maybe this is something that you've been avoiding or just encouraged to avoid by others around you. Yeah, we have detachment and cold. There's no problem in taking time for yourself and figuring things out. In fact, that's very important. So I think the art of detachment, I think a lot of people could see this as a negative thing, but I think the art of detachment is very important when you're on path of spirituality or coming into consciousness or trying to make the world a better place, you need to detach from people who have opposing views from you, or people who are not willing to grow, right? If you stay there, I mean, it's like pruning a tree or a bush or something, you know? I'm not talking like pubic hair bush. I'm talking about, that's too many. I'm talking about, you know, trimming like shrubs outside your house, or you know those people who like shape them into weird like squares and shit. You have to like take off what is no longer allowing the plant to thrive, right? So if you think of yourself as the plant, it's an analogy, friends. My pheromone perfume smells so different today than usual, and I think that's interesting. Anyway, the art of detachment is a form of protection. It is a way to ensure your own balance and alignment don't get off when other people who, again, are refusing to. A lot of people project, a lot of people hold people back. It's that crabs in a barrel energy that we talk about all the time. And it's just that last reading I just did that said stay focused reading was also about like, I was getting like heavy caution vibes. And I think there's just such a huge rift within the, I mean, if you're in the United States, within the United States, I mean, it's you're one of two things at this point. And if you want to remain sane, you have to release the people who are aligned with pedophilia and evil and racism and rape and war crimes and genocide, right? Like, what the fuck? Okay. And I mean, you know, allow people, I think detachment is a form of protection because it allows people to do their own thing. And I think, you know, again, take a look at who's in your life right now. Are they people who are aligned with this, or are they people who are keeping you like this? I mean, there's one of two right now. And you know, you can just kind of, I'm getting that meme of Bart Simpson, or not Bart, Homer Simpson, like, back to the shrubs. That's weird. You know, backing into the shrubs, and he's like disappearing, and he's kind of like side-eyeing. I'm getting that meme, so maybe you feel like you just kind of need to like silently detach for a little while. You don't know any explanation about why you're doing what you're doing. I mean, within reason. You know, if you have like a partner, you can't just like up and leave, right? I'm a single woman. I don't talk to anybody, so I guess my view of that is a little different than most people. But you know, like I would never leave my kid and just be like, I'm over this, right? Like that's weird. But I have detached from everyone else, and you know, and there's plenty of times in the days where we both want to detach and disassociate and do our own thing, right? So just whatever that looks like for you. We do have separation and longing. I'm ignoring it. Don't stay in that space. Again, that's focusing on that toxicity bound within a twin flame narrative of some sort of relationship or whatever. A lot of relationships are not healthy. A lot of relationships do not grow together. A lot, you know, some do. But it takes two people who want to grow together, right? Not just one person who's growing and the other is not. That is in equal imbalance. There's an imbalanced energy exchange, so be careful, right? You don't want someone to like just suck all of your energy. That was my marriage. It's awful. I was like, why are you're literally sucking the life out of me. Like, I cannot do this. Fuck. And then Niall came and gave me the strength to pursue freedom. Forming structure and solid foundation. So what are you doing for this, right? And you can do this alone, or, you know, and we have the shadow side, the dark night, and the moon. I think I mentioned this in the other reading, but we had a new moon yesterday. I think it was in Capricorn, which is earth energy, devil energy. But now it is, we're coming into Aquarius season, which is more of a humanitarian, visionary energy. I don't know if it's today or not. It's soon. If you're not watching this at this point of time, that's okay. It still impacts the readings, but my readings are timeless. So just chill. Alright, we have growth, summer, change, and courage, and Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, or fire energy. There is a lot of fire symbology here. So what do you need to allow yourself to do to grow? The growth and the epiphany are kind of very similar photos. They're taken at the beach. This one looks like a sunrise. This one looks like a sunset. So what do you need to put to rest, again, to allow yourself to go through this process of release, of growth, of remembering? What gifts do you have that you haven't been using? That's a lot. Okay, it wasn't that much. What gifts, what did I just say? What gifts do you have that you haven't been using? With the avoidance and stalemate, what have you not been acknowledging about yourself that could get you out of this lack and doubt energy, that could put cycles to completion, and that could enforce new beginnings? This is action, beginnings, and courage. I can't answer that for you. Only you know what that is for you. I want to go ahead and pull from the cosmic energy. And then I'm feeling these as well. Yeah, limitations and fears was like popping out. So just, you know, once you become aware of yourself and like the space you're in, your process, your path, once you have clarity on your purpose, it's very easy to allow everything else to just go away, as long as you focus on yourself, right? Don't ignore what, I mean, I don't think you'd be here watching this if you were ignoring it. I don't know what I'm gonna call this, but don't ignore what you're being told to do, or how you're being guided, right? Allow yourself to go through that process. I've been resting a lot lately. I'm so tired. I'm tired because I took my melatonin before the readings. That's why. Because when I'm done with this, I'm going to go directly to bed. Yes, I take melatonin. I don't care what you think. Joy is the dance of the soul. Enjoy every moment. Oh, gosh. Maybe you need like fresh air or to get out. You guys ever had that experience where you're like, we're going through it right now, where you like know you have to take a deep breath, but like you can't get the right deep breath out? My heater's on. And it doesn't have a glass cover. They tried to bring a glass cover the other day, but it wasn't heat resistant, so it cracked immediately. But I feel like my air quality is kind of intense because of that. Hi, Lola. Lola says hi. We have creativity. Creativity is your inner expression. Unleash it. I think when you're feeling stagnant or unsure, create something. That's the best way to get through that. Compassion. Compassion is the warmth of the soul. Give it to others and yourself. I think that's important. Don't be overgiving to others. And freedom. Freedom comes from the inner liberation. Exactly. So whenever you feel like you're getting back into feeling like cycles of toxicity, or you're feeling bound or limited in any way, I finally got the breath. As I was saying, limited in any way. If you're feeling like that, do something about it, right? And it doesn't have to be anything. Where did that other deck go? Oh. It doesn't have to be anything like hella substantial. It can just be like an acknowledgement of what you're feeling in that moment, right? Like today, all day, I was fucking craving this salsa from this Mexican restaurant in town, and I was like, nah, let's go. But now I was like balls deep in the middle of like something very important to him, and I was like, ugh, fine. And so I had some grocery store salsa, but it's like pico de gallo salsa. So I was like, okay, whatever. Let me throw this in the blender. I added some cumin and some red crushed pepper and some salt, and I blended it up. And Niall and I both ate the shit out of it. And I was like, oh god, because I don't want to go over to the restaurants, and they don't have like a pickup option. And I tried calling and the phone was off, so I don't know if they were even open. But I needed salsa. No, I'm not pregnant. I'm just having weird cravings lately because I'm allowing myself to. I'm allowing the exchange of what my body wants into like making it happen, right? Like I'm not indulging, you know. I'm not indulging, but I am allowing myself to eat what I want, right? Like yesterday, I was like, oh, banana peppers. And it was so good. So I don't know why I shared all that. Oh, just give in to what it is, you know, trust that your body and trust that what you're getting, whether it's a craving, I think that's an easy example, or, you know, within reason. I'm not talking about gluttony by any means, but we have to eat, so. But you know, trust that what you're receiving about what it is that you want or desire, even if it's not food, maybe it's about, you know, where you want to live. Like maybe you're thinking about leaving this hellhole of a country. You know, I thought about that last week. I was like really hyper focused. I was like, should we leave? Because I kept seeing all these people like leaving, and I was like, no, that's not my path. You know, I'm like, it's not my path. But you know, allow yourself to go through that process, I guess. Don't, you know, even just by not allowing yourself to go through the process, that's where you're gonna stay bound, right? So I'm thinking of those first two cards, the Epiphany, Breakthrough, and Toxicity and Bound. You know, by denying your intuition or your desires or what it is you feel called to do, especially right now when, you know, the world is a shit show, but we all need to be doing what we can to make that not the reality, right? Like we can't just like sit by and be like, oh, that sucks. No. We have to step into what it is that we're supposed to be doing to make the world better. We have dreaming. You spin your webs in faith, hoping to catch a break. Every action is met with a miracle, even if you don't see it. But every action, you have to take action. It's not every thought, and yes, thoughts can be actions, but not really. Thoughts are imaginary things until you put into action. Create, right? Which I said earlier, create something. Especially in the space of consuming, right? Like I've been doing Niall's school shopping this week. Today I was making a video about everything that we got today, and I'm like, I am really tired because consuming without creating is an imbalance, right? So the salsa was like a creative endeavor, honestly. Release. When you let go of the past, you can see the future, and life brings hidden gifts. We have feather symbology in both of these. I will show you after I pull one more. Let's get one more. I don't know why there's so many commercials when I do readings. It's crazy. But yeah, go check out the Stay Focused if this one resonated. The energy is very similar. I just use different cards, which makes sense. I think there's a lot of collective indecision right now, which makes sense. I think there's a lot of confusion. I think there's a lot of helplessness. And I think that if we allow ourselves to get carried away in that, we're going to be stuck, right? We're going to be stuck in whatever that is. When we're supposed to be creating new shit, we're supposed to be doing things differently, right? We can't let them win. Why would we do that? Rising. The night is so long, but just when you give up hope, the sun rises. We already mentioned that too with the my heart just got like a weird like started going faster for a moment. We got that imagery of the sunset and the sunrise. So rising, dreaming, and release. In order to rise, we need to release, right? Anything, this is the order they came out. Anything that is keeping us from what we know we want, or what we know is possible for us, or what we know it's meant for us. And I'm not talking about another human, I'm talking about within yourself. What skills you have, what ideas you come up with, it's you're given those for a reason. It's to make them happen, okay? If you ever need support with that, I'm here. And also, you can go check out the What's Your Calling readings. If that's you, that might help a little bit. There's a lot of them. So if the first one you watched doesn't resonate, just check them out. Everything I do on my channel is in playlist form. So go to the playlist tabs. Don't mind my music choices in some of them. I can't keep some of them private. But if there's a hashtag on a playlist, that is a shorts project, and I've gone through a lot of my decks to help just kind of raise the vibe. Like short daily stuff. But there is a lot of other stuff. Collective coffees are about what's going on in the world. I haven't been doing those very much lately because I think it's, I don't think I really need to at this point. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of other people doing that stuff right now. The collective readings, hi, you're here for that. Collective combos are more taboo topics, harder things to talk about, things that people don't really talk about at all. We've got Chasing Nostalgia, which is inner child healing. There's a lot, I don't know, there's a lot of shit over there. But welcome, and please subscribe if you so choose, and please share my stuff. I post every single day on multiple platforms, and I feel like I am in quicksand. So, have a good one.